You ready? Let me know.
You are welcome to the...
Through trials and tribulations, you have prevailed. The spirit is unbreakable, never derailed. With a rich heritage and culture and grace, Liberia, you are the land we embrace.
You are welcome to the bottom line, Liberia.
You are watching the review of Liberian newspapers headlines that made news during the week on the Bottom Line Liberia. Please join us every Tuesday and Friday at 7 p.m. Liberian time, 8 p.m. UK time, 9 Central European time.
Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you reaching us from. My name is Jamal Kamara. I'm sitting here tonight on the Bottom Line discussion with my colleague, Paul, the Lord Children Play. We'll be joining you soon. So in the meantime, we'll go for a musical break. We want you to share the show. Like us, we'll come back with a lot of news we'll have to analyze or review. I know you've read some of the papers. So we'll give you our own perspective. But in any case, we'll join you in a couple of minutes. We'll take a musical break. And please, wherever you are, join us, share the show. We'll be with you in a couple of minutes.
My people, where you at? Where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands, wave your hands. Come on, come on, come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people who us, the people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not know. I said we tired with their lies, we tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach in thee and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrates us. So why did you lie? Why did you steal? Why did you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we voted you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people don't want to hope on nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they're too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then instead they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation is poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They betray us so much. I said they lie. The people fool us, the people lie to us, the government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. With their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow there's tendencies to grieve? You see, we just tell you that why we both tell you. But you fool us, you screw us, you use us and little on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask.
Good afternoon once again. Thanks for joining us wherever you're from. I have two gentlemen in the studio tonight with us. The long-time friend and good guy. This boy is back with us. He was over last week. He's worked this week again. We live for welcome. Boy is here as well. While we're waiting to roll on, we want you to share the show. We'll be looking tonight at some major news stories on the headlines like as well as trending issues. We'll be discussing it. You know, the good thing about this show tonight, we'll be looking, we can never go wrong because our souls always be the news about this time. We will read major newspapers and they make the bigger news that really made headline like here is the president's visit to the Great Republic of China and also Indonesia. So we'll be looking into that as well, other story that made news in Liberia. But in the mean case, I want to welcome our colleagues on tonight. The law Paul Chulip based in London. Paul, welcome. And also, we'll be working our brother Livestream from Norway, the Kingdom Republic of Norway, the Queen Republic of Norway. But in the meantime, let me welcome my brother Paul. Welcome, Lord Chulip. How are you today? How's London?
Well, good evening, Jamal. Good evening, Linford from my and good evening to our viewers and the listening audience. London is great. It's just that we've gone back into this funny weather that drives me absolutely bananas, and I wish I had money now to be on the next flight to Liberia to enjoy the sunshine, although the rainy season is dying down. But it is where it is. A farmer said in another country, it's freezing cold.
Thank you very much. Once again, please welcome you wherever you join us from. People in Liberia that are following us on the Jala TV as well, those in the USA, Asia, or other part of Africa as well. Europe, wherever you are, if you can call your name or where your place, please, you must excuse us. We want to know that we are with you, you're with us, and we also love to have your comments on the show. Let's see how you think. Give us your thoughts. Drop your comments and what you think about our show. We are based in Europe. This is the Borderline Liberia discussion live. We discuss Liberia here, issues concerning Liberia and us as Liberia as well, and those in the diaspora. So we'll be looking today at major newspapers that the headlines Liberia. I know you have read it, like my colleague always said, you have read the paper from your own end. You see how we see it, and we will look at it from how we look at it. So we will look at it from that end. So tonight, we'll be going deeply first into what is really happening in the lawmaker's house, the bigger house, the Capitol Hill. And we'll be looking at that newspaper. Sometimes it says it's a smoking gun. We've been going around it last week concerned about somebody finger, of course, he doesn't like that word, but somebody tampered with the project. And that's why still trending here a lot. And we also don't forget to like this show. We want you to subscribe to our program. We'll also let you know that we have a show coming up on the 20th of September. We'll bring that flyer up. We have a doctor, a Liberian trained doctor, who will be here to tell us what's going on with our healthcare delivery system. And what is the mpox and what are the consequences? What can we do to improve the system? We'll be over to on the 20th of September. This is the next Friday. But in the meantime, I'm welcome our colleague, link for Egon Gwe, welcome. And also our colleague from Chicago will be just joining us, our brother, Bob Moore. But let me go to Linford. Linford, welcome. How are you, sir?
Well, let me say thank you to all of you and welcome to. I'm great. from the cool Scandinavian country. I hear Paul complaining. I don't know how cold it's cold in London, because I know, yeah, London can be cold as well. But here it's crazy, man. But I mean, frankly speaking, it's been sunny yesterday. In fact, we had almost everywhere last night. We had the experience of the Northern Light, and tonight again, I think, and tomorrow Saturday. So I don't know, Paul. Do you see that in London?
No. Well, we know people have to travel to the Scandinavia to see that. So once after 10, 20 years before it pass somewhere in the north, it is closer to you.
Actually, that's a regular occurrence here, especially the way the summer come. I mean, or the winter coming. It's a regular occurrence. Once we have good sun, so everybody has the app, so we monitor where it's going to be. Last night was actually in my area much, but tonight it's going to be fine enough. So but all in all, the sun was good today. It was cool, and we move on.
Thank you very much. You got brother Albert. Albert is, I think, from Albert. You need to get more light so you can see your audience will see your face more. I think a little bit your light is not that sharp. So Albert is based in the U.S.
I'm a black guy, so normally not too clear.
No, all right, that's fine. What is good about Albert based in Chicago, USA, and America is actually on the hot seat right now. We had a debate list on Tuesday. One thing about we said here, we talk about Liberia. America is the big brother. So when America sneezes, everybody catches cold. So we need to know what's going on right now. Paul, I know we're going to Australia. We had a DNC, the Democratic National Convention in America, the last time, and now there was a debate in the U.S. between Kamala Harris and the lovely Donald Trump. So I know you were there. You guys are watching. Just give us 1 minute. What's your take on that debate before going to our main topic?
Well, the debate took place. Trump is what you attend me as a casual and irregular guy. He comes in no particular form, but one thing he knows how to attack anything that comes to a mind to waste on you. That's what he does. But professionally, the debate went on according to many viewers. He was not specific on issues and questions were posed to him, but he had his own way of responding to it the way he feels. So from the beginning, he was saying like he was a little bit like being prepared or organized, but when Kamala Harris began to attack on his character and stuff, he bonds already shared and he went casual, disorganized. But he debated. He's a guy, he's the irregular type of person. He doesn't come in professional.
Right.
Tell you
I think we seem to lose him.
And there. So some people came out that he was beating in the debate 63 to 37. Some supporter praising that you don't have to learn all the ball and all the ball, but he had the experience, so he was able to attack the administration on the failures here and there. So that's where we stand. There are some predictions here from experts in the corner here and there. Some are saying Trump will win the election, but he may not be allowed to sit in. Some people say no, he may not. So this is the democratic view of the society. So here we go.
Thank you for that little update on the debate in America. That was Albert giving us his view about the recent debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, former Vice President Kamala Harris. A little bit, we just, went away a little bit to just get a little bit what's going on in America. But yes.
Can we chime in 1 more minute each? Because whenever America sneezes, Liberia feel it as well. So instead of we chime in as well.
I will take it. I will let you stay. Linford take on, then I'll go to you. Linford, your time. What do you think?
Well, I followed the debate, and it was, I mean, I expected. Everybody knew that Trump would come unprepared, but before the debate, they've been throwing jabs at each other at various gatherings in different states. And I think Trump's team, knowing who he is, they did a lot of preps for him. They tried to prepare him, but the guy wouldn't just, I mean, like Barack Obama said, the presidency does not change anything about you. It will just make you, leopard will not change his color. He came, he was a little bit calm. And if you look at his facial expression, when they were welcomed to the podium, Kamala Harris walked over and even crossed, if there was a boundary, so to speak. She crossed over and shook his hand, talking. And he was there, because he had gone with that, that team built in him. And then when the debate started, he was trying to remain composed according to the rules of the preps that he got. But then he had to cross at one point where he was even talking about migrants eating dogs and cats. What does that have to do with you? Even if you eat hamburger, not all Americans eat hamburger. I've seen Americans eating spider on TV, on different shows. I got this American guy who was in Congo eating frogs. So what would you say about it? Do we conclude that it's all Americans doing that? And Trump went there, trying to. And what he forgets to know is that the voting population in America, at least 20% of them got foreign backgrounds. It could be Asian, it could be Hispanics. Of course, you got Asian American, then you got Hispanic Americans, but most of the guys, like, I come from Texas, right? Houston. Most of the guys in Houston, they do not have paper. The Hispanic, they do not have paper, but they got the right to vote. Okay, so if you start lashing out at them, what do you think they're going to feel? Already, you tell them that, okay, you are not important, and we can't accept you who you are, whether you eat frog or you eat dog or you eat cat. That's why the people are eating before. If indeed they are eating it, that's why they've been eating before they grew up. So I think Trump is Trump, and nothing can happen. And of course, he has some people. The people who think like him will always back him. They will vote for him. I saw a picture today where there's a girl on Facebook. She got a Trump 2025 bold writing in capital letters, Trump 2025. So those people, those kind of people, whether Trump is in a gutter, they will say vote for him. So and this is the essence of democracy. People will always have somebody who they like.
Yeah, you're right. Is the case. Paul, you think, the debate, what do you think about the great debate that happened in America? Because everybody was sitting tight. I think, Paul, you didn't sleep up to, we started watching it from the UK around about 1 to 2 a.m.
It was 2 a.m. in the UK. So
are you look at it? I think you watch King, you follow it religiously. What is your take on it?
Yeah, my take on it, I think that woman, the vice president, she's really intimidated Trump from the start by going towards him to shake his hand. I think that unbalanced him in the start, because doing that, she unsettled him. And when Trump, every time he's opened his mouth, she was looking straight at him. I mean, that power of intimidation that unbalanced, and she just went for him from the start. She didn't relent, just kept on, cool, calm, smart. And I think when she got into his skin, that's why he could not help it. He came up with the thing that, these immigrants are not eating dogs and cats and all that blew his chances. To me, I have this feeling that Trump, although he's popular, but this woman could surprise him and beat him the way things are going. She have the momentum, and I've reading some newspaper before I came on the show that a lot of women now are registering to vote, meaning the young black mixed women are following her. So Trump could be in serious trouble here. But now I want this similar thing should happen in Liberia. We say we follow America, but then when it comes to presidential election, we do not debate to know the truthful leader in our country. Everybody shy away, they run away from debate. What happened in America? They have over 67 point some more million people watching that debate. So based on that, by the were more flocking him, it could sway a lot of people towards us. Now, what we can do in Liberia, we say we're taking cue from our own people. At the end of the day, they don't go for debate. We end up with the least competent people in Liberia because they're popular like Trump. So I just wanted to link that. How come we don't do the same thing and won't be a copycat?
Yeah, but in any case, I think we all know here it's not mandatory in Liberia. I think you have to be in a way that Liberians have to do it, but it's not mandatory. And now people also use the argument that a debate is not only a reason to have a competent. You can be a very good, outspoken, eloquent, but that does not make a good leader. They say that how you present your plans and plan of actions. But in any case, it will be a good thing we know who they are, what they say, so we can hold them for what they're accountable tomorrow. I think that's one thing you want to say here. When their plans, sometimes presidents will say something like what's happening now today in Liberia. You know, guys, like the president in 100 days, this will happen, that will happen. People are holding accountable for it, and this is what following him right now. So what you're saying here, it could be a good reason if Liberians can use it as a compulsory, mandatory, every candidate to come and debate, so we can keep against them. Anyway, guys, if no comment, let's move straight to what we have tonight. What is making news in Liberia, guys, is the first.
I want to say a small thing there about when you are watching the U.S. debate between the two parties here. One group believed to be like the moral people. So they term the Democratic people as the people who bring all the law, and so all the immorality comes about in the society. So when you hear Trump attacking, it is on no basis. Like he attacking on the war, he attacking on the increase or the rise of immigrants is the normal thing that the ordinary people crying that, okay, the immigrant came in, they have no jobs now. So the state on humanitarian ground, they can't let them be without food because they will hold the United States humanly accountable. So what they do, they provide means for them to get food. And the ordinary American can be, the people just coming, they get them $500 for food. We that work, our butt up, we don't get anything. It could be immigrant. So when you hear Trump talking all the while, he trying to win the ordinary, the ordinary support. That's where he comes in with his funny Italian, eating our dogs, our cats, and all kind of stuff.
Anyway, thank you.
That's the point between the two parties. One, we believe in the moral of the society, and other people do not believe in it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know it is true. We know Trump, if he gave him a script, it doesn't go with script. He always go with his ways. So sometimes he slipped. We saw that in that debate. We have our own view on it. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your comments. Let's go straight to what's happening in Liberia. Last 2 weeks, we've been dwelling or speaking on the issues that happen in the lawmaker's house. Somebody play with the budget. This is something serious. I think Abba said before, it was criminal in nature. The budget should be arrested. And he was very radical about it. And it's still coming up. It's still making headlines in the newspaper. This time, the front page Africa is saying smoking gun. Something is smoking. So that means some big people hands in allegedly are involved, finger in the budget. This is what they're saying. So somebody somewhere was involved in it. It's not only using the clerk of the lawmakers as scapegoat. They were involved. Some big names are involved. Yes. It's allegedly. They have not named names. But I think they are saying somebody's responsible because the clerk of the person who was writing the budget cannot make any mistake or do any changes without the consent of the big guys. So you tell me, you read the story, what do you think is really happening, guys? I'll start from Paul from the top.
This is Liberia, and I said it the last time on this program. This is corruption at the highest level. From this article in the front page newspaper, that they got information on this, that the president himself and Yomli Kangalore and the speaker, they met secretly at his residence, unknown to anyone. So that's why the finance minister is coming out with this thing, and from PC is smoking gun. The president asked for the budget to be for the alteration of the budget, and now we know that the clerk were blamed. So what is going on in Liberia? How can the three key people meet secretly to discuss the budget? The president, the speaker, and the pro tem. That is completely criminal in nature.
Linford, here go on.
Yeah. You know, people have always said it since, and sometimes others do not believe it, that leaders set the pace. Look, in your house, if you look at children from a particular home misbehaving in the street, when they go, they shout, they fight, they do all of the bad things you think about, it starts from right in the home. Because either the father or the mother is engaged in it, and children, the nature of human being, that's the general nature of human being. We learn, we continue to learn and adapt to new things, whether good or bad. We continue to learn and adapt no matter how old we are until we die. That's why when they even introduce a computer, people as old as my father were learning how to use computer, use mobile phone and other things. That's the nature of us. And what I'm saying is that whatever we see, and we see people in command practicing, everybody will want to do it. So you want to tell me a mayor clerk, let's just call it office messenger, right? Because that's the official work of the clerk. Hey, do this, give me that paper, or write this for it, and let me sign. You think a mayor clerk will hold a national document, a document that has been prepared by the executive, sent to the first branch of government, and then it's supposed to be sent back to the executive for approval, and then passed into handbill? You think one little clerk from somewhere, from somebody's office, who was sitting up behind one little wooden desk on some kind of rattan chair, we just take it and alter it? When I first heard this news, I was like, okay, this is Liberia for you, right? A Liberia where 4 or 3 young men living well, not sick, nothing. Somebody will call and say, come and go work for me. They will go and they never return. And the person who took them to go work for him is walking free. Nobody's bothering him. Or Liberia where a white man will come from way America, come and try to kill one of its citizens, and other people go and rescue that white man. Only the 2 of them were in the car, and they, of course, saw the mark on the person's neck, and they allowed the white man to go free. At least there were 3 or 4 people in the car. They would say, okay, it was not a white man or somebody else, but only the 2 of them. So the girl was trying to call her own truck. The law will allow the man to go free. A Liberia where somebody died in the house from knife wound, and no, Liberia, this is Liberia for you. So the people lay their action on those past events. That's the basis of their action. That somebody will look at whole budget and after it, because they will say, oh look, they kill auditor, nothing came from inside. When they try to kill somebody, they will let the man go. Nothing can come from anything in Liberia. So when I heard this news, I knew that this is the Liberia that we have. And it's not strange for me that if big hands will be involved, it's not strange. It's just a delay in getting to know the name of that big person. But what is circulating about that meeting, I think that would be the opener to what all happened. And I think all ears are tuned, all eyes focused, and we hope to see and hear what will happen from there. We want to hear that name.
I like that, Linford. Comrade Moy, the smoking gun is pointing at big names. Are you surprised?
Well, I'm not quite surprised. It has been like the power game in Liberia, the power does what it wants, and those for whom they work, they don't care. They don't know what the power is. The power is allotted to you. You don't really have it given to you to lead. So the mistake there they are not realize that they have committed a crime. They don't even know the rule of the game into which they are. You cannot take a document from the general discussion into a private place. That alone is a commission of crime. One thing I know, like when we were in the student trade or going to ordinary MGO meeting, if you're trying to agree on certain principle or certain policy, you have it drafted by the secretariat, and it is repeatedly read with clear, slow voice or every vowel and consonant in the word is pronounced to everybody, so you can know exactly what is going in there. So I am 100% sure that what took place at the Capitol when we are reviewing the budget, it will say something that we agree that the fiscal budget for agriculture stand as $2 or $1.8 million for fiscal year. It tapped out. Okay? So in no way you can go in the corner to change it. But thank God for somebody that Yeke, as crazy you may think he is, he becoming a savior of our democracy. Yeke has come up that the budget was tampered with. The president pro tem is involved. The people actually went to the office of the president and it was recalled. Okay? And according to the rule of our parliament or the national legislature of Liberia, to record the budget, it has to be discussed in primary. A motion got to be filed and voted for. It cannot be done by the president or the pro tem of the Liberian Senate. It cannot be done by the speaker. It cannot be done by the office of the vice president, who is the president of the Senate. Like, oh, the vice president said you don't care the budget by. Nope.
Okay.
So
Thank
this
you
is
very
a
much.
crime.
Yeah.
And I feel people who are involved, they should be punished according to the organic rule of that nation. What the Constitution says about it, malpractice is equivalent to impeachment. We got to set an example.
Thank you. All right. Listen, guys. We want to first say thank you also to say those who join us. So please share the show. If you join us from JMG News, that's Jana TV in Liberia, called JMG News, and wherever you join us from, we say welcome to the Bottom Line Live discussion. We are coming to you live from the center of Europe, and we got our colleague also joining us from USA, Chicago, Alabama. But anyway, we want to say welcome every time. Please share the show. Anytime you come on, also click on the like buttons and subscribe. We will always show you an alert. We are here Tuesday, mostly Tuesdays and Fridays. We do have guests on the show, as well as we do major newspaper review as well to look into what is trending in Liberia. Now, the story with this is still continue, but then there's another story to angle to this story. This is it. Sorry, not this one. There's a story about somebody is calling for the punishment of investigation of the story. This is, I'm sorry, credibility doubts emerge. So somebody would say the Bapolo senator is trying to build his political capital here, building his political capital, calling because he's one of the noisemakers in there. I mean, when I say noisemaker, constructively noisemaking about the budget. He's been really singing the songs together with Musa Belite. Others are also in there with Jaka Kolba calling for the investigation probe into this budget tampering. Now, Amara is still coming up saying that there's a problem with credibility of the team that handled the budget. Do you think he's still brother is building, the young man is building the political capital, or is he really trying to build his political capital of 2029? Or people saying that he's building the political capital of 2029. Others are saying that he's trying to be honest. He's trying to tell the Senate that we want to make the place clean. People should respect us. You look at it. Where are we going from here? If the yellow machine basically came and went, no, it's quiet now. Nothing happened. Nobody hearing about the yellow machine. Now the budget is also a big news right now. That what do you think will be the end result of this government? I'll take it for Linford. What do you think will be at the end of this? What do you see at the end? Is that going to continue, or you're going to just go into the thin air?
When it comes to Amara Kone, I think it's a bit difficult to say, but I think he's trying to be honest. He went in there. That's why in the first place, the thing that gives him some little bit of relevance in saying these things is that he went there as independent candidate, though he was a bit instrumental in pushing the agenda of the arrest agenda of the UP. But he's in there as independent, one. And then two, I think he wants to build some credibility image, because it seems as though he has higher ambition for the highest office. And nobody knows, but I think he's trying to build himself. That's why I see build his character, so that by tomorrow people will judge him. And you know, Liberia, our politics is like the political dynamics in Liberia goes by, oh, what did you do, or what have you been doing? If you look at Yeka Kolba got elected by majority of the people because he spoke to power during the administration. He spoke to power, and that's what people like to see. So I think to an extent, Kone is trying to create some avenues there through his advocacy and his comments on events and the efforts that he's making in highlighting some of these things. So, well, no, but I do not have definite answer, but I think that's what he's doing.
Okay, yeah, you know, I'll go before I go to Paul and Mr. Moore. He was one of those guys who were like talking about yellow machines that were not followed by the procedure, the PPC or something like that. PCC was not followed. Process was not followed, and that we're bringing a yellow machine. Other process will not follow. We followed that, and that has died down. We have not heard much of that. So, what is the outcome of that? And this is coming up again. So, I think what we should the pattern is now. I don't know what you guys are getting where I'm coming from. Where
but what you see, the thing I was saying is his voice is making changes, because he was one of those people who got on the yellow machine thing, questioned it, and then all of a sudden the yellow machine thing died down. We don't know what happened to it, even though they are physically present in the country. A batch of them were there. I don't know whether all 285 of them came, but we know for sure that there was a huge number that came. And they were taken to the barracks on Shuffling Highway. So nothing has been heard, even though, and you don't expect anything, you don't expect to hear anything, because it is the government that brought in those machines. And it is the government that has control over them. So whether they're distributing them secretly to the counties, we don't know. But at least Amara Kone spoke. People got him on record. Even the government got him on record that he spoke. So I think this is what the Liberian people want to hear. And guess what? Amara Kone is not strange to Liberian politics. He has been there. The guy was finance minister. He knows what can happen. Okay? He knows. Maybe he'll say, okay, we'll talk. We know that nothing will happen, but at least we'll talk. People will hear us talking. And tomorrow they'll judge us by what we say.
Yeah, you're right. He was an insider. I do agree. He was an insider for 12
Right.
years, so he know what's happening in there. So what, Paul? That's a followers on a show say Tubi Wilson say yes because that country is a mess. Do you agree that Liberia is a mess?
I would absolutely agree with him 100. When I say 100,000% agree with him, the country is a complete mess. Why am I saying this? Amar Cornell served in one of the most corrupt government, and he was finance minister. He understands the score. Remember, in Liberia, criminals are rewarded, and this is the fact. If the good people, they ignore them, but the bad one. So American may be pushing agenda here. I think Linford is spot on here. That's what the people that sold the omen to the Liberian people. And now he's talking about credibility. Think on it. All of them that saw this man, they all going sideways, including my favorite representative, Yeka Koluba. They all sold him. Now, Liberia's situation is very unique. There's a guy called Stanton Wallace-Pong, who is a convicted criminal, was able to convince people to vote for Omer Burka. What does that say to you about Liberia? All the criminals came together and pushed the Omer agenda, and today now they're backing off. That is a smelling situation. So my brother is right. Liberia is a complete mess.
Comrade,
Yes.
he said your country is a mess. The lawmakers are incredible. They have credibility issue. Do you agree? If you agree, what should you think should happen to them? Should all of them be impeached because they were elected? You call for a new election to have them impeached. Have them impeached, have them impeached, because those who are involved should get it removed. Do you stand by that?
Well, in real natural politics of any state, any country in the world, if the political system fails the nation, the military is a last result. While in any revolutionary situation, do not forget the military. Because the Liberian people are hold their peace. They walk out all like the day after inauguration and say, no, even though we voted for you, but we don't want you. First thing, they took the national money and divided it among the party headquarters. That was criminal in nature. The speech, the inaugural speech, was not delivered to the Liberian people. The Constitution says when the elected president, or in the absence of an elected president, the vice president takes over. So at the program, when the president fell off, the vice president should have completed that speech. Okay? They did not do it. Yet again, we can't have election one day. So we need time in between. If the Liberian people have no other hope to look to, the last result is a military regime until we can put the house in order. Okay? Now, regarding Senator Conan, I worked in government before as a director. That's the junior officers of the Liberian government. But when you are working in government as a minister, director, general, whatever it is, if your understanding is in you, you keep burning out the years and days that you serve, because you will see the reality before you, and you see the people doing different things, and you are not the one to change it. So this guy said, our finance minister, his profession tells you some fair game you got to play when you're getting people statistics about things. You got to actually say the right thing. You can't put last in between because the figure will show. So he got that concept of build up. Now, what he trying to do is to exonerate himself from anything that will take place wrongfully on this regime. It is true that he assisted, but that was a policy, that was a campaign. The campaign ideology, they brought that they would be fair, they would call for justice, they would do justice to the Liberian people. And after inauguration, the whole program is changed. Okay. So if you in there, anything that goes wrong, you got to bring it up.
Okay, thank you. Quickly, I just want to ask one of you to make one more minute on this question. There was a newspaper headline that says that the arrest agenda has been hijacked. So it means two set of people here. One group said we were in for the arrest. The Amara, what is it? Amara, Honorable Kone, Honorable Yaka Kolba, and many others will say we were part of this arrest agenda, but it has been hijacked. That's the two set of people. That's why they are going away. And because Paul just said they sold the old man to us, and now they are drawing back. The coup said, and the newspaper said the arrest agenda has been hijacked. I want you to just give 1 minute on each. Do you think the arrest agenda has been hijacked, or it was just intended to sell the old man to us? I said the old man, President, what do you call him? President Joseph Baka to us at the end of the day and pretend to say, well, we are not part of this. We just want to get in there and use him to get to where we want to get. Just one each. I'll start from Paul, then Linford, then Brother Moore.
Okay. Wow. That's an interesting question, Jamal. The agenda was not hijacked. First, they didn't have any agenda to start with. If they had agenda, by now we know that the Eve will be good, and then Christmas will be okay. It's now they start talking about developing something. So they never had agenda. They only came to power to do the same normal thing that have been happening for years, for decades. That's all. There was no agenda. So nothing was hijacked. They sold the old man to us. And now because they were not getting that part of the meat that they needed to get, so they all started drawing back and going after him. Nothing else.
Info. You think the thing was hijacked? The whole agenda has been twisted around?
No.
Twisted? No? What do you think?
I will agree with 100% that in the first place, there was nothing planned. Listen, it's like you sit on Facebook, you write, my name is Linford, but my Facebook name is Afro Viking. So I can present myself to be something which I'm really not. Okay? So these guys came with this very beautiful nomenclature that is eye-catching. And remember that this party was in power for 12 years. They know all the ins and outs of government. They know. I've always said it. If you guys go back on most of our shows, I've always said it, that these people, they were only waiting, those of them that did not succeed in the early government, like assistant ministers, directors, and all of them, that did not have the knife to cut their piece of the cake. They were waiting. It was their opportunity to get a knife, the handle of the knife, and begin to slash the biggest piece at this time. So this is exactly what happened. They came with this beautiful nomenclature, right? Eye-catching. By the time you read it, say yes. But who had a plan? Was it Boakai or who? Who had a plan? Was it the party chairman or where? Okay. Now, they came to power. After 9 months now, here they're running up and down, going to China, going to Korea. No, not Korea. Where was that?
Indonesia.
When I hear the name Indonesia, I laugh. This is a little country struggling, and they are going there. So they had no plan. What they did was, it's a gullibility of the Liberian people, because the Liberian people don't question anything. Imagine that during the election, I was asking my own family people, who are you voting for? The old man. I say, why? They say, because I want everybody voting for. Can you imagine? Because everybody voting for him. So whether he's going to do something good for you or not, you vote for him. And some of them will say, oh, You know, you used to tell about say everybody was voting for the old man, we get voted for him. You see it? So there was no plan. And the Paul said the people they saw the old man, that the old man he was like a kino. People just rode, they just rode that kino to cross all the water. That's it. And he's practically abandoned. If today, if anything happens, you will see the same people, the key people that in our arrest agenda, they will kind of say, oh, our hand were not there, our hand were not there. Well, yeah, you know, the old man was. I'm telling you, I know Liberia very well. So I will tell you exactly that they had no agenda. They only fully Liberian people because that's what Liberian people are used to. They will always say, we know Paul, I know Paul, and the way I know Paul, Paul also knows me. Paul knows what can take my heart. You know, so if you know somebody, the person will know you too. So they get rode on the old man's back after crossing. Whatever happens to him, that's it.
Right. Okay. I will twist the question to Comrade Moy a little bit like this. Not hijack. It was on the show a week or two ago. We had J. Randy Drapo, who was a guest on the show. He said President Bwaka is not extending his hands to the other people like oppositions. Liberia does not belong to one person. We should, like in the sport, in the world of sports, you being a director of youth and sport. After the game, whether you're common enemy, you shake hands, even if you're defeated. So he's not extending his hand. I'm quoting Randy though, that he did not extend his hand to the other politicians, Liberians as well, non-politicians, not other from other political parties and independent candidates. See if they can sit down together and help and put the country on the right path. He's not doing that. So does this go with what they are saying that he has a special agenda to just go instead of using the word? So one little boy also sang the song. He's saying instead of arrest, they're using arrest as an excuse. I mean, it's an excuse. It's not arrest anymore. Do you agree with the argument that the president is not doing much? He's not being very politically friendly. He turned his back. He's been chasing other politicians, hunting them down. Do you agree? And also agree with the point that this whole agenda has been hijacked? I just compared it. I hope you can take them one at a time.
Yeah, I understand the whole concept here. There is a say in Liberia. It's a first word, go to quote. So during the campaign, the honorable president defined the agenda through interview why it was. Now, the word hijack, in a political sense, when the word hijack is used in any case, it means something was going, but it did not land. It never landed. It stayed halfway, and they took it away, or they had it somewhere else.
And power has been taken away.
Yeah. So indeed, the plan that he had being hijacked, people that he brought in, he didn't know them politically. He took money from them all over to support the campaign. So he employed them, and they got their own agenda. Now, politically, the country is not being run politically because the election that we saw is, for me, our taking part through an organization we put in place from here, there, I was teaching civic education or voter education rather. And many people said the country was divided, blah, 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 but our own observation, we said the elections were tied. More Liberians were encouraged to take part in the election. So people took part. I mean, I would say 50-50, but there was a winner. However, when you emerge as a leader in a kind of election, your decision making politically, you have to be careful. You need it to include other people that were good in that regime. Not everyone that was in that regime bad. They were very good guys, the young guys, and they were bringing all kind of ideas for development in Liberia. Remember, we are guy that knew that he talked about the guy in the boat, the one in the center of the swan in Monrovia. They talk about building over there. They talk about the road. They talk about this. So you needed to include other people to set the culture of the so-called accountability that they talk about when they don't actually know, so that you will have check and balance in places. But they carry war to wipe out the entire improvement of the past government, even to the untouchable in civil service, to the untouchable. They're taking their other jobs. So he is not running the country politically. A whole idea of the rest, everything is being hijacked. The country is not being run politically, and this showing a sign of disaster for our country.
Thank you. Right, guys, we'll take a break. We'll bring you to on this. We'll bring you a flyer that we'll be talking about on the side. We'll be having a guest on a Friday. We'll be telling you what the guest is about. So on this Friday, we'll be having Dr. Emmanuel Lai, a Liberian trained experienced medical doctor, very experienced, who was in Liberia during the COVID and as well as Ebola. You'll be our guest on this next Friday, on the 20th of September. He will be here with us to explain the challenges and the barriers to healthcare access in rural areas of Liberia and the potential solutions to improve services delivery. So Dr. Emmanuel Lai will be our guest. So we want you to always show up in, and we want you to follow us. And we want you to be part of it. We want to be proactive. We want you to drop your questions. We'll also be making numbers available that night, on the Friday night, on our show, so you can be able to ask your questions. He's actually at the moment residing in the UK. He has agreed to be our guest on a Friday, which will be on the 20th of September, on Friday, next Friday, to be exact. So you can take a question for him, and also give your question, so we see if you can answer that. Dr. Emmanuel Lai to be on it. You'll be our guest on the Friday. So don't go away. Be with us, and we would like to know more about Liberia. If you also want to have any questions, you can put in here. We also, if you don't want to, ask him directly, we can drop a question in our chat box, in the chat room. We will also ask him. That's for next Friday, the 20th of September. Why February? I'm running out of time, guys. I want to take you back to Paul. I think Paul, you want to comment on this before we move to the next topic concerning the while we're talking about hijack. I think you spoke about that already, Paul. Did you, Paul?
Yes, I did. I spoke on it already.
Okay. Now I want to carry you back. I want to take another end. The last time we talked about the old man is not doing well, and now he was in China just for a week. He went to make a step over to Indonesia. He went to China with the Afro-Asian Summit. And Linford, you probably live. You visited all around. You've been in Indonesia. You've been in Palestine. You've been in Philippines. You've been in Malaysia. You've gone around. I don't think you've gone to China anyway, but you've gone around. You are very much versed of Asian politics and the well-being. You know what's happening. Tell a little bit. I want to start from you with the regard of the they call it the president visit to China. They call it the Asian package. He brought something from $3.1 billion projects coming to Liberia. Is this not a part of the agenda, arrest agenda? You guys are complaining that he's not doing well. Is this not something we should be celebrating, guys? Liv, I'll start with you.
Well, you see, I don't know how we China fit in the arrest agenda, though. But as usual, Liberia being this boring country, because I remember, as far as I can think, that almost all of our governments have always been out there. If not the IMF, it is the World Bank, or it is some country, to the point where we can go to Indonesia. Now, I'm not underrating Indonesia here, but Indonesia, look at their history. Indonesia is one small island, group of islands in Asia, and they have not been that country when it comes to top countries in Asia. You talk about the Chinese, you talk about Hong Kong, you talk about mainland China or Taiwan or whatever. Now, Indonesia, they practically pull themselves by the stripes of their boots to get to where they are. Okay, in their own strength, in their own power, they're surviving. And in Indonesia, you will see places even worse than than West Point. Okay, practically speaking, I don't know what I'm talking. Okay, but again, they survive according to the kind of system they have. The same way Liberia is surviving. So it's like Guinea coming to Liberia to want to borrow. See, so there must be some interest. You know, when I heard the president was going to Indonesia, I made a post. I said, well, Indonesia of all countries, get ready to become Muslims. And then people thought I was trying to create religious divide. No, let me tell you, Indonesia is the largest Muslim country in the world. Even Saudi Arabia, they can't compare themselves with them. That's the largest Muslim country in the world. And when you go to Indonesia, you do what the Muslims do. Okay, when you go there, you do what they do. So if they gave you that money and they attach strings to it, and say you have to do this, what will you say? You can say no. I'm not. Of course, I mean I've been in the mosque many times. When we were small, we used to go in the mosque and pray fast and eat. And my friend would also go to the church and whatever. So I don't know religious boundary. I got no religious boundary. I believe in one maker in fact my faith is not based on religion. It's based on that supreme being that created us. Okay. So, but the people will say, okay, you got to do what we do. And we are seeing people that complain and say the West will get our money and they tell us to become gay and all that thing. No, they're not. They are telling you what, if they gave you money, they want you to do this. You don't have it. Beggars have no choice. You got to do what they want. So, you know, going to Indonesia, we hope we can get something from there. But I would expect that if our government, our president will go to any Asian countries, what you should go for is that technology, not the cash. Because they don't have it. No, you rally pull it. Philippines is almost like my home. I've visited almost everywhere in that place. Not too many to visit 7,100 islands, too many. But I visited major areas. And I remember we went to this place where I saw bagel rice. I didn't believe that it was rice. I mean, the rice outside the car, the tarpaulin, the typhoon king and moon, the tarpaulin, the rest there, the ranger beating it. So I thought they were using it to stop the water. They said they had a rice. It was in front of a store. These are people who got the worst weather, one of the worst weathers in the world. They got typhoon that can destroy them every day, every year. But still, they will come back and the people make fun. They can harvest 3 times a year. So those are things that you should be going for. Ask for that technology, okay? Instead of going and go begging Indonesia. Indonesia, they produce food. Go there and ask them how to do these things. But you go stand in front of one poor country that is suffering like you to also support that people, and you think they'll give you that money free or they will give it to you. They will give you some promise and you will come back. The Chinese, yeah, they have been one of our long-term friends. They've been doing some projects, but you see, it's evident that most of the Chinese projects in Liberia cannot be completed. It's all because of the policy. Okay, like we've always said, China is not going to give you what the West will give you. Say, okay, your human rights should be clear because they said don't have good human rights record. They will not tell you, say, okay, you should not have political prisoners. This and no, they will give you their money, and they expect to play by your tune or you to play by their tune because the Chinese man come to your country, he treat your people, you can't kill him anywhere because he's not operating on human rights. He's not operating on people's rights. He's operating like a gangster. So he expects you to operate like him. See it? So, you know, we got to be careful. And our one China policy also is one hindrance. And Uncle said that, which is our traditional ally, you carry 1,000 European visa to Liberia now, and you carry 1 American visa. You say you can't take people, all the people in Liberia will go for that 1 American visa, and the European visas will be under there. So Uncle Sen got total control over us. And for you to think you can be friendly with somebody that Uncle Sen is in competition with, I'll just read one story about Russian mercenaries in Liberia, which I don't know how true is that. And it's all because of this, Liberia want to go China's way. And remember, China and Russia, then they in one group called BRICS. And that group is growing fast. Okay, so anything that has to do with Russia or China, people will play around with Liberia. So I think we need to be careful. We need it, but we need to be careful. No, the fish gets sense. Not all the bait you put in the water, the fish can go for. I'll stop there.
All right. Comrade Moy, I will make you the last. You know why this is quite an interesting story to talk about? Because Liberia is our passion. We need to discuss it. Paul, people are saying, look, we had a bad road for 6 years. If you look at Freeport, the road from Freeport to you were in Liberia recently. I think you're the only one so far being in Liberia lately. If you look at it from the Freeport to Port River, what is name to
St. Paul's.
St. Paul Bridge before entering District 17. It's very bad. And the Minister Givens said he will be starting that probably in October. Many rules will happen. These are the effort from China and other countries. Bigger projects are taking place because the president and his group came from China. Others are saying also Chinese will come and flood the country. Because Chinese will be there to lay the brakes, they'll do the job, or people will not have the job. They almost do literally everything. And now we do agree that they bring money in, but they also bring in the labor as well. Is there something you have a problem with, or is something because they bring that money? Linford just said, if you go to Indonesia, there are conditions like you have to be Muslim. There will be a condition, or they build a lot of mosques around Liberia. That could be another conditions. They will say that. If you take money from USA, they will tell you the ones on lesbian, gay, LGBTQ should be a right in your country before we borrow your money. And then we understand every country got the conditions. But then Chinese bring in the labor force into Liberia with the level of labor we have. We don't have work for most of our own underprivileged Liberian that turn to Zogos, so-called Zogos. What do you agree that Chinese bring their money together with labor force, or they give it technology like Linford suggested?
Point of correction with the Freeport, how we will call it, to St. Paul's Bridge, there was an agreement between the Japanese government and the Liberian government to do that.
Wait, it didn't happen during on the 6 years. It's happening now from now on.
No, from January, January, that agreement was signed with the Japanese.
Okay. Well, who did that? Bwaka government, right?
It was Bwaka government that signed that. I think the negotiators started under the Weah-led government, and Bwaka signed it. So the Japanese are going to do that particular straight up to St. Paul's Bridge. Now, regards to your question regarding this 3.1 billion that the Chinese have coming to Liberia with projects. Now, we wouldn't hold that this is an agreement, but Chinese don't give things free. They don't do things free for anyone. What are we giving the Chinese? That should be our question here. What are we giving the Chinese? Because
they borrow you money, you pay them back.
You pay them back. We know that under the early government, that we know the Chinese came up with the policy that nobody should take sand from the beach. The Chinese now then digging sand from St. Paul River and all the river taking diamonds, and nobody know what is happening there. So if Chinese are coming with 3.1 billion, it's not small money. That could be a new city. And what as the Chinese come, and we've been told it's an MOU. Until we get a clarity, I think we should hold our peace, because with this arrest government, they have been from day one. They make me to buy my Jack Daniel, and up to today, I will not drink that Jack Daniel, because they promised that they were going to bring war and economic crime. Quote, it have not yet happened and will not happen. I think some of the newspaper will talk before we leave that Prince Johnson have confirmed that thing was just a fear. It's not going to happen. So with these people coming up with anything until it starts, then you say, okay, but I wouldn't believe anything they say. We talk about the Ghanaian buses that they took to Liberia, the Ayalolo buses. After the noise came about, it disappeared. The yellow machine still got question mark. So I wouldn't say anything until the Chinese come in with equipment, start putting things down, and we'll find out that if they sold Liberia to China, then we cannot have that conversation.
You want to wait until they sell it?
You can't get it back.
No, but there's quite a season. There's Nigerian plane.
Chinese don't waive loan, though. I mean debt. You don't waive it. You have to pay it back. Chinese don't waive. Mr. Moy, the thing is, like Chinese are coming to look after our major projects like the seaports and major highways as well. I think you are from Rivers, so if I understand, and connected to Grand Bassa. So Bassa Port, Bikana Port will be one of those potential places where they were going to bring jobs and stuff like. I know you're not looking at it for the county level, but you're going to bring development to your area. I think should be in line with this. But I also understand that you have some issues with the Chinese. What do you think? Just give me in 2 minutes the pros and the cons of the Asians package that come to Liberia.
Well, the Liberian issue is like, Paul said, we don't know what to say, but I know very well. One thing you have to know in the 31st century, somebody spoke of the BRIC nation. You have to cut your kid the side that you want. So I learned the administration when the Chinese were coming to Liberia, the vice president was in favor of the Chinese. Is Mr. Bwaka prepared to take Liberia under the wing of the BRICS nation? Is he prepared? Psychologically, ideologically, is he prepared? Because bringing in the Chinese, I don't know, is like admitting Chinese migrants into the country. They kind of doing their own thing. They don't employ nobody. They're in the villages. Is that what we are talking about? Or we really going to get a contract that will employ Liberians? When they were going to China, the Chinese delegation were in Liberia viewing the books. I saw the posting from Liberia. They were in Buchanan and they were due to go to the other southeastern ports. So we know what is going on. Is he prepared? If you want to go east, you go east. There's no way now you can be in between. So again, we want to look at them and see what he wants to do. But anything less than going one side to take your country to another level, then for you to think you are smart, you're going to play game to be in between, you're not going to gain anything. You're not going to. So President Bwaka has to tell us where Liberia is going. I know they say they bring in MOU, all the things are official in the Liberian legal setting for the president to leave with a batch of people and they sign all the concession contracts and they bring in and impose it on the nation, or the House going to ratify those agreements.
Don't even think about our house, because there is this.
Yeah, we look at them, we put them there. So normally
we put them there. These are people who signed the ATM terminal deal that is still killing us today. They do, you give them this voluminous contracts or MOU or whatever. They will not read it. You know what they're looking for?
And it was signed
the front page, and then the last page, the signature page. That's it. They sign it, and they get a call.
And they get a brown envelope.
Yeah. So we shouldn't even think about it.
So the confusion here is Bwaka national agenda. How Liberia is going. We want to get the money from the Chinese and build our country, or we want to get money from it and job them, and we're waiting for INF to give us direction. You cannot be in INF and be in the Chinese direction. In no way. You ain't going nowhere. So we are the state where we're watching the administration. If we don't have representatives and senators in parliament, the Liberian nation, then our country is a loss, because we do not know what is going on. You have to make your national agenda a national one, so the country knows when your foreign minister, your Minister of Finance is talking, your Commonwealth Minister is talking, everybody knows where that country is going.
Right. I want to do something. I want to stop here and we'll let link for it or Paul. You know, you can look at the very chat. I think we got people following us to read that comment. So we'll go to on this particular news that you can see on the screen. There's very important news headline there that we need to look into. I'll enlarge this page. It tells you like House remove restrictive provision in the dual citizens law. That's affect Liberian living in the diaspora. Probably you may have read the story. This is quite interesting for those of us who live Liberians and live outside Liberia. Linford, do you want to tell us who've been following us and what our comments are, please?
Dual citizenship.
Yeah, we'll go to that later, Paul. I want to Linford, Paul. If someone following from their ends, let's acknowledge those who following us on the show. Look, yeah, please.
We got a couple of people here. Let me see.
Please read some comments. I know you don't read all.
Emery Benson Nico was here. I don't know whether he stayed there. Mark Amos. Samanda Jr., Toby Wilson, of course, Toby is always here, and Jefferson Carter, Lasana V. Kamara was also here. And I think there are people who have been popping in and going off. And, you know, I share the show on my different platforms, on my different groups, you know. So they are in that group watching it, but it will not reflect to me. It will only reflect on the me dashboard. But so once you share the show, there are people watching it on that platform, on their side. They're not here with us, but they're watching it. So those are a few of the people. And Toby has been writing a couple of things here. And let me see one of what he said. He said he does not trust any politician in Liberia. Maybe this needs to be on the screen. So I do not trust any politician in that country. Any one of them has a hidden agenda. For Dillon of all person to do what he's doing today for my mom. In the Liberian way, right? For him more. So I don't trust. So you see, like I was talking about the Emerald Connect thing, right?
Yeah.
What you do in Liberia, in politics or on the political playing ground, can push you. It can catapult you to the next level, or it can set you back one step behind. So you see, a lot of people making reference to Dillon today. A lot of people. I mean, go back in 2019, was it 2019 or 2020, when Dillon was running against Polita Weir, everybody in the opposition, or everybody, once it was not sedition, it was Dillon. But today, most of the people in the same opposition from that time, if you talk to them, they say we are disappointed with Dillon. So you see, American Connect talking, it's because they look at the future. You try to lay that foundation. So I don't want to go back to him, but the Dillon thing that Toby mentioned, I just want to make that reference. That whatever people are doing, and some of them don't matter, they're talking all this sweet thing today. When time comes, they will not do it. They say United Party people, they were talking about CDC. When we are go, he taking a whole lot of delegation. We get money, they not pay government workers, and we can take how many people can carry to China? You go pay for money, they carry the whole group behind you. So in the Chinese stupid, they look at it and say, well, you know, you begging and get all the people, you know, and I don't know what those people will go to do, because anything you want to tell the Chinese, you're not going to put all our group people and send them down and they all be begging the Chinese. It's you alone or one small paper that you're giving the people to look at. So when you carry the group behind you, you could compact everything in one document, from public works, from health, from agriculture, education, everything that you want help with. Package everything in one document and carry a few people, give it to the people, because they will follow it, they will follow up. Then at that point now, they will start to come to your education minister. The health man will go to the health people. The agriculture man will go to the agriculture people. But you pack the whole bundle and carry them, man, we ain't ready yet. That's why we said from this on start that people did not have any agenda. They believe that carrying the whole group of minutes and people to feel sorry for them.
Yeah, thank you, Linfo. This Delos is very, very important, guys. I want you to look at the paper. We got one more topic. One more article to read. The House removes restrictive provisions in dual citizenship law.
Yeah, but you need to move the one from the screen.
No, that's there. It's there. It's on. Linford, look at below. Look at the page.
Yeah, we're done.
It's at the bottom next to where on top of. Is it not big? You want?
No,
I enlarge it from your end. Okay.
No, it's really what I can see.
You need to wear your glasses so you can see it clearly. It says, so guys, I'll just give you a background why this is something talking about. It's for some of us who live abroad that may be interested in elected positions. In 2022, there was a law that says that it came off when it came out, the law says that if you got dual citizenship, you live in abroad, you got dual citizenship, before you go for elected position in Liberia, if you're an American, European, you should renounce one of your citizenship. Like you should renounce your British citizenship, your Swedish or American citizenship before you run for the office in Liberia. A year before you apply to election commissions. And now the House removed that restrictive orders. Now you are not allowed to do that. You can go with the same. That's only allowed. I mean, for born Liberian, natural born Liberians, not those who are naturalized. If you're a born Liberian, you are entitled to your right as Liberian. So that's what the House is saying right now. You remove that order. You can run. You can apply. You can also apply to election commission with your other citizenship. Your dual citizenship, and you can be two citizenship. You can have dual citizenship at the same time. You can apply for that the job you want in Liberia, elected job. So guys, this is a good news, something for you guys. Some of you may be interested in elected position in Liberia. I'll take it from Abba. Abba probably thinking to go run a souvenir for River says. Abba, tell me what you think.
Yeah,
Abba now the souvenir position now is going to be elected position in the 2029. So you tell me. I know you have intention. You have eyes on that job. So tell us, is this something you'd like to hear?
Is it which position?
To be souvenir from River says.
No, I won't be the president of Liberia.
Oh, really? Okay.
Look,
you got a long way to go. 2029, you still got a long way to go.
Yeah, you need money. I have good age and I got the experience.
Paul say
I know the corrupt nature. I know how to break it down.
Paul say put money. Everybody you'll win tomorrow.
Yeah, I think we are not being fair in the governance of our country over century, and we continue to do it. Dual citizen should have been existing in Liberia. It was not something to think about, but now, because of the exposure of many people, so people on the ground, they are in fear, and they started pondering here and there, panicking rather, here and there, that people coming from abroad would take their positions and what have you. But dual citizens have been existing. There were Liberians who were born in other countries, and they came to Liberia and they become presidents. Okay? So they were citizens of the United States, they were citizens of Liberia. They were citizens of Great Britain, they were citizens of Liberia. Okay? So it had me existing. In fact, on most occasions, people who had connection or coming to America those days where you don't need too much restriction for you to come here because Liberians were people of nationalistic feeling. They wanted to live in Liberia than living in the U.S. That's how it was understood. So to get visa to Liberia those days were not difficult. So people send their wives, daughters, girlfriends here, and they deliver. When a child was born in the United States, they were citizens of Liberia. And some of these guys, girls and boys, they become leaders in Liberia, they become president. They're doing the war, they lift up many families here because their child or children were born here. So dual citizenship, the removal, I think it is good. The Supreme Court has ruled already over that dual citizenship exists in Liberia. And I think we should maintain that position because our own constitution states that anybody of the black race, or what the term in the Negro race, can come to Liberia and become a citizen. Then the law goes as far as saying once a Liberian citizen did not go to declare in front any Liberian diplomatic officer to say, I have relinquished my Liberian citizenship. You can get any paper in your hand anywhere in the world. It does not restrict you of becoming a Liberian citizen, except you are going to, for example, to the Liberian diplomatic mission, the embassy, and say, look, I, Paul Cholovic, I was a Liberian citizen, but I had declared myself to be a citizen of Great Britain, so I no longer. And you submit that in black and white, then you are not. But once that was not done, anything in your pocket that you're living on, in and around the world, once you get back to Liberia, you are a Liberian citizen.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Paul. I want to take you back there. I think the issue of this thing, what Mr. Moore is saying, that it was not formal. Now it's formal. You can use you can go and openly and walk through the airport RIA or Springfield and say that, look, we have 2 passports and walk through. You could hide the other one. Now they allow you to do that and also contest an elected position. Is this the good news for those who live in the diaspora that have political intentions?
Yeah, Jemma, is a very good news for all Liberians, even our kids that are born outside Liberia, because, and I want to say, let also give credit to Musa Bedete, who have championed this, because Darius Dillon and others came say, oh, there were restrictions they had on it because the fear of people coming from overseas with knowledge will take their jobs. But Musa Bedete have championed this, that once a Liberian will always be a Liberian. The same thing happened to people in Ghana, Nigeria, and in neighboring countries. So why is it Liberian then dragging their feet on this? So it's a very good news, and that will encourage our children to go back home. Nobody in this world will carry children when they come from Liberia. That is the fact, and that's so. Why did not people? Because they also people left Liberia. A lot of people left Liberia because of the Civil War. So you cannot blame them. They have to survive. So those people have the right to go back. And so I think we should give Musa Bedete credit, and also the former president George Weah, who led this thing. Today we can have this going, and I think it's a welcoming news for all Liberian in the diaspora.
No, in the first place, I would say this is belated. We should have had this thing long time ago, but because of the selfish thinking of our people on the ground, that these people, when they come from abroad and we allow them to come here, they will take our jobs. But imagine if you say that against your own people, but you got the Lebanese who live in your country, take your money, sell to you, employ you, use you as laborers, take your money and carry to their country. Compare them to a Liberian whose child was born abroad and he comes back to work in that country, build that country. He's not taking that money anywhere. But a Lebanese guy, an Indian guy, because of course I live in Norway, and if I were to become a millionaire in Norway, I can put all my money in Norway. I carry back home. That one I can save for sure. And so many Liberians would think the same way. If the Norwegian man went to England and got money, you will not keep it there, you will bring it back. You will use some here. Nowhere like home. So you got Lebanese people, Indian people, all other foreigners coming, Nigerians bringing drugs and getting money and carrying it back to Nigeria, and they look at your country and they say you are poor, but you're refusing your own people. So this is belated. I will not even thank nobody. They should have done it ever since. No, I get my own right. You cook it, you give me it, then I start thanking you. No.
But you didn't cook it. Somebody happy to cook it. Somebody happy to
they fight in the denial, and this guy can say no. He champion is, so let's give him credit.
No. I'm not. I'm individually, I would champion. I would thank Representative Bedete, but the legislature as a whole, I cannot, for them to kind of, they want to take glory. Oh, they are past law. This, no, nonsense. Musa Belete can carry the individual glory because this is something that should have been done ever since in the first place. Why were they delaying it? Because they are selfish. And these are the same people who, all of them, half of them went to America or other countries and learned and then went back. But they are against people who live in America or other places. Okay? If anything happened, the alien government.
The children are here.
Yeah, the alien government. Most of the ministers are there. Where are they? In America. The Joshua government. Most of the
children are here.
You see it? So what is the crime here? But when they are on the ground, they send out there to the local people that these people come in, they will steal your money and carry it. But you got one learning guy, people to the point where you got Moroccans. Yeah? Where the Moroccan RRA, while they were checking my passport, the Moroccan guy who got a supermarket, I'll always say it because I got proof. I took this video of it. There's a Moroccan guy who got one supermarket in RRA, somewhere in Habede or RRA area. How I got to know because he told them that there were three who wrote on the flag when we got there. Why they inspecting my passport? The Moroccan guy will tell the passport director or the passport man who were there, tell him, man, oh man, you want your rating that people you want to inspect, and they put a guy one side. After they finish with people there, they went in the corner and I just saw the guy going. He did not show any piece of paper, but they can inspect my paper. You see it? So that means it's our right to live in our country. We were born there. Whether we go out, we still come back. Okay? So nobody, absolutely nobody will take a glory except individuals who fought for it, but not the house as a whole. I will not give them the glory.
Okay. Right, guys, quickly, this news message is interesting. I know I want to make comment on it, but I want you to use it as well. On the same page, we have some like Dr. Benedict Colley, the Liberian pathologist. He was accused of that he misled the Charlotte Musu case. This is why he said, I stand by my testimony. He said in the one that he reported, he said testimony that there was no male DNA found in the house.
Say that again.
Dr. Benedict Colley, Dr. Benedict Colley, just a little bit of background of him. He was he's a trained UN. He's a broad trained pathologist he says he stand by his word that he said there was no male DNA found in the Charlotte Musu case. So the George Shannon said that CAA said that the pathologist Dr. Benedict Colley misled them in the trial of Charlotte Musu. So he said that he misled him that there was a DNA of a male found, but he's saying that he stands by his word. If you look at it on this page, the news on the screen right now, it says that, look, I stand by my testimony. That is the word of Dr. Benedict Colley. So he's saying that they want to discredit him. So Albert, you've been talking about this case. You've been talking about this case over and over and over, that somebody's messing with this case. You know why we're bringing this in? But there's a poor girl life was involved here. And also, there's a newspaper story that Cabinet General also saying that he does not believe the story. That case was not properly judged. So, I mean, the recent decision by the justice of the Supreme Court was not right. And now, the colleague is saying they stand by his word, testimony. Guys, I know that we've been playing with it in the case it's been over and over, but then we're talking life as was involved here. So we want to see, where are we in this case? This man is defending his credibility. The judge is saying, the Supreme Court is saying that this misled them. Where do we stand here? And the death of the poor young lady, Charlotte Musu Scott. What do we stand here? Because there's a two-dark version right now. Dr. Colley pathologist says he stand by his testimony, and the Supreme Court is saying that they were misled. So what you guys take on this, guys?
Yeah. Okay. Let me question you before I
go on.
I say what I've been saying. The Benedict Colley is the pathology that they took from the United States?
No, it's the Liberian pathology assigned on the case.
Oh, okay. He is saying he never said if a male DNA was found.
He said, he's in a testimony to the Supreme Court that, they said that somebody was a male involved in the death of the Charlotte Musu. But when he did his research, all his investigation, He said there was no male DNA found in that case. Nothing in our house. Because there was like blood stain all over the place. There's all the research he did. No male has been involved. So there's mean that there was no male, M-A-L-E, no man was involved. According to the story he heard from what's it, Verdi, the Council of Verdi said that one Valley Teller was involved in, it was arranged to
they went to a little part of the city mayor and said,
yeah, they
went there to one of his body and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but now he who the doctor pathologist of the pathologist of Liberian pathology assigned the case said that he can still stand by his testimony, and he said that there was no DNA found in Charlotte Musu case. So now you know why I'm bringing this by. I still want to ask you guys. You know,
yes,
we are in the middle of we are in the middle of nowhere, where the court is saying that we were misled, and the man who did the job, the DNA, the only Liberian pathologist on the case, that he stand by the case. So where do we go from here, guys? Let me start from
one understanding I had, and
let me start from
like searching the document to read because
I know. 1 second, let me hold you there. I want you to start for Linford or Paul. I know you have a lot of stuff on this thing. I want you to take your time, adjust it, digest it, so we can come back to you. Linford or Paul can go into and tell me what we stand here, because we are a little bit in the middle of nowhere.
I will go because I'll be leaving you guys very soon. But let me take it this way from this angle. I've never heard that a judge could determine that a doctor or a pathologist or whoever, or a nurse or whoever who is a practitioner can mislead them. I think the judge should be basing their verdict on the evidence that will be before them. The pathologist is trained in that area. The pathologist said, I have conducted all of my activities and I found no male or no male involved in the death of this thing, according to my results. And then the judge will say he misled them. On what basis? So does the judge know how to do DNA? So why would they, in the first place, contact a pathologist if the judge can determine that the particular information that the pathologist gave them is wrong?
Let me give you some information there. Also, from Dr. Scott, Justice Scott, people brought in another pathologist who were to investigate. So their report was saying that male was involved. So I think what Justice Shannon is saying that the ruling came because the pathologist misled the circuit court criminal court A, and the jurors during the trial, which 3 individuals were handed life imprisonment sentences. So they believe that the information from the Justice Scott people, the pathologist said that were male involved. I think they're going by that story. That's why they're hanging on now.
Yeah, but they brought in another pathologist, right?
They're not them. From the Justice Scott people brought in a tall pathologist to do another independent investigation.
Okay, but then to wrap the whole thing up from my side, I think the case should be reopened. That's what I would recommend, because the corporates, the people who the former government arrested and found guilty, they were in jail. Then the new government came and free them. So, and government is continuity. And in this case, this is a felony, okay? This is a murder case. In this case, the government is the chief prosecutor because the crime was committed against one of its citizens. So at all costs, the government must fight to find the people who committed this crime. The government can sweep it under the ground because that's what the president took oath for, to defend the citizens. So there is no way that this government can be in favor of freeing the people. So even if you say that the pathologist misled them, they can go and bring new pathologist because the case are not ended. Okay, if people pursue this case, it can wake up. They can rejuvenate this case.
Right. Thank you.
Right.
Paul, let's
I
would be the last person on this.
Before Linford leave, Linford,
Hmm.
Liberia is a complete, and I think Toby Wilson said it. The country is a complete mess.
Seriously.
Of government pathology. So they now set a precedent that if somebody commit a crime, you can bring your own private pathology, and that person will say something will make you to be free. So the government does not trust itself. That's what Sienna Yo and the Joseph Boyka and the legislature did to that poor girl. No country government that will somehow bring their own private pathology and that against a state, and that person go free. It's just a smoking gun. And what from the first newspaper that we read, the whole country is a complete mess. The Supreme Court what should have done? Okay, so we have two different view of pathology. The case we need to reopen it and bring the third person in. But they canceled the whole thing. So Liberia is a complete mess, and they knew what it did. And today, what happened? They gave the body now to the family to be buried. So the case closed.
Wow. Albert, I know you have digested well now, so let's hear from you. Then we will take a last round to be able to call it at night.
Oh, okay. Well, Paul, thank you for saying that. I didn't know they turned the body over. If you guys did look on Facebook, I noted there that there can be no acquittal until the government of the Republic of Liberia finds the murderer or the murderers of Charlotte Musu Scott in Liberia. And I think I put 2 notices up on it. And the government has to find the killer before you can. The accused admitted to police and in court that they did see a male in the house. Goreska, a professional lawyer, a legal practitioner, former Chief Justice of the Republic of Liberia, stated that at close range, she sprayed that person in the face. One of the ladies said she took the knife from the killer and the torso over it when he came back to take the knife from her. Now, the government presented the more codified pathology of the Republic of Liberia, and he assessed everything and made a report. As he stated, there were no male DNA found in the whole activities. You and I will know if we talk about any DNA, it's supposed to be on that knife, because one of the women admitted that the knife was used and she took it from him. So it means that particular woman DNA and the male DNA that was doing the killing supposed to be on that knife. Any other DNA in the fingernail is circumcision. It's not counted because nails can reserve death for months if you don't take it from there. So whether the girl went out and she was playing with a man, chest or body, and some DNA left there, that DNA from the nail and the one that on the knife supposed to be the same in case of anything that has to relate to that case. So the decision of the Liberian government at this point in that case It is an abuse, a miscarriage of justice. It's an abuse to the Liberian nation and its legal system. It's discouraging, and it's a slap in the face of the government to even open the War and Economic Crime Code. No, because there will be no justice. There will be no justice. Because this case is a clear one. The people conceived the information to admit to police and in court after they killed the young lady. There were witnesses in the neighborhood who wanted to explain to the police, but the police were being coherent to say exactly of which area they should handle the case. Because Gloria Scott had gone to the Justice Minister of the Republic of Liberia that night to find some legal way out of the case. Then they contacted Councilor Vodia in the United States, who think he's the smartest man in the world, and said, look, there's a young man who is a criminal in Monrovia. And he got a whole lot of bodyguard behind it. They just tie the case on him, and they'll leave it at that. So they said, oh, the guy who was sprayed is Koji bodyguard. And coincidentally, this guy had an eye complaint that a week before, 2 weeks before that incident, he did not attend his daughter's wedding because his graduation, because his eyes were badly hurting him. So everybody concluded yes. But indeed, that was a maker because Councilor Vodia was not in the country. He had no command over the security system of Liberia. How did he get the information? So that communication line, I know it is recorded. Councilor Vodia, Councilor Musa Dean, Councilor Gloria Scott, they were in communication. I had to put the case on the city mayor. And it did not work. Their own explanation. Nobody ran outside to say, you're calm, my people. Somebody is in the hall trying to kill us. But after they killed her, weapon changed their clothes, then they went, all of them went in the bathroom and closed. Said, y'all come, somebody killed someone, they killed, the kid shot out, y'all come, the people won't kill us. That's crap. So this case here is not over. Whether they will bury that body, they can go ahead, but somebody will be held accountable as it was done 1980 with the case of student Berry. When they asked JAAPL about how he handled that case, and he preferred to adapt instead of saying anything. So the case is not over. As I said to you guys in Europe, I am begging us that this girl represent any one of us, either yourself, a relative, or a friend. She is a Liberian, whether Gloria Scott born her, biologically, she has no right to kill any human being. I learned this child that her brother's daughter, but she had no authority. Even the government of Liberia just can't get her and kill somebody until the person is condemned by law. Okay? So the case here, in my own belief, is not over. I have spoken to few Liberians, and I spoke to legal-minded individuals, like somebody who was on the TRC. And that lady told me when the incident took place, I was in sympathy with Gloria Scott, and I called her. And I called her for the second time. But when the explanation started, he said, as of that day, I have not spoken with her, and I do not believe that I will ever speak to her. For the fact that they did the killing, then they went outside to put it on an innocent young man who was just born 1986, that coaches you were referring to. So I want to encourage all of us, let us love it with human rights lawyers abroad and home to resume the case wherever they bury her. They they can say dig her up and do the DNA. In fact, the government is being warned that that case is not over. So the Facebook document is a record. I did not only send it on Facebook, but I sent it to a lot of people. I think Paul, I sent it to you as well. So let us love it. This child was killed by those women in our house. So the last government, the judge was right. They tried to lie. If you cannot tell the truth, then you are responsible. Some people try to make legal, because they accuse other than of killing. But the child, the individual, the person was killed. And all of you were in the house. Then you say you don't know.
Thank you, Albert. Thank you very much. Thank you for your comment. Thank you, guys. I want to make a reminder once again with the guest that will be showing on the Friday show.
A beautiful human being.
Yeah, on the Friday show, we'll be doing that. Then we'll do the reminder. We'll give our panelists a chance to take the last round, so we can wish you a happy, lovely weekend. In the meantime, let me bring back the flyer on the next Friday, which should be on the 20th of September. On the Friday, we'll be having Dr. Emmanuel La, a Liberian trained and experienced doctor, will be here to speak to us about the healthcare delivery system in Liberia, the challenges, the barrier to the healthcare in the rural area, access to the rural area. And we'll also be asking about the Mpox. The major Mpox is also making headways in Liberia right now. And a lot of cases being formed. I think 5 cases so far. Mpox is also making some raising ugly hairs in Liberia at the moment. So the doctor will be here on the Friday. Please don't go away. Join us on Friday, next Friday at the same time, Liberian time, 7 o'clock, UK 8, Central European time, 9 o'clock. If you're in the US, I don't know. I think Abba will help us with that time in Eastern US time. Well, but wherever you are, we will be here as usual on this Bottom Liberia to discuss Liberia healthcare delivery system with Dr. Emmanuel La, who is actually based in the UK. Guys, let me give you a round to see. We want to take leave of you. Before we go, I want to give you one more round so you can tell me what you think, what was the show, what you think about the topics we discussed tonight, and looking forward to Tuesday before Friday. Let me go to Linfa, who is taking leave of. Linfa.
Well, I think we did excellent job trying to discuss the issues in our own way, giving our personal views, as we always do here. You may not agree with us, but that's how we look at it from our own perspectives. We also look forward to having our guest there on Friday. I'm in negotiation with the president of the Liberian Association here. He's online now. I talked to him yesterday, and he said he was going to check his schedule. If possible, if things will be okay, then he can come on Tuesday. But I have yet to confirm with me. I just texted him now if he will make it on Tuesday. But if he consents, then you will get the information in the chat bar, in the chat room. I mean, he's not strange here. He's been here before, so we just want to bring him back to keep the show alive. So if all goes well, his schedule will be flexible. Then he will be our guest on Tuesday evening. That is about 3-4 days from now. So, guys, it was a good show, I think, and we hope to be here on Tuesday and next Friday. Hoping at least we got one guest that we are sure of. Hoping that we can be here to discuss the healthcare issues and the barriers in Liberia.
Paul, the Lord should play.
Well, thanks to our viewers by being with us. Paul,
let me get a conclusion. So, guys, I'll be leaving you guys, and we hope to see you guys on Tuesday. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Linfa. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you on Tuesday. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. To our viewers, we say thanks for being with us. The bottom line is the bottom line platform is where it's unique, because this is where we actually look at newspaper review that many platform, Liberian platform, they do not do that. We do it. So we go in depth of the story, the way we see it, we analyze it, the way we understand it. So the news that we gave here is news that is actually written. So that's what make us unique. And tonight's program was one of the most exceptional program. It was great. I mean, the conversation was good, and I think from the viewers coming to tell that the discussion was fruitful. So yes, so on Tuesday we'll be here. We'll be here next Friday as well. Maybe in between we might have somebody and we'll pop in anytime. But if you follow for the first time, just click on the like button, and then whenever we come on, you will be notified. Yes, it was a great show, and it always good to be back.
Man, from all the way to Chicago, from USA, tell us. You're the only man from that side. Tell us why you're here and how you think the show was.
Well, to our listeners, we want to thank you for listening and want to thank you for participating in the issues of Mama in Liberia. We gave our personal views on issues that we feel represent the national interests of our country. Issue being discussed, they have to do with our future and our today's lives as a nation and people. It is our country, whether we are home or not. That would be the only place that would go and you feed 100% as a being, regardless what the situation is. But we all are hoping that our generation should leave a record or a legacy of a good governance system for the future of our land and its citizens. So let us contribute any way possible. And in this, at the closing point, I want to call on every Liberian everywhere. Let us rally for shattered Musu Scott humanity in Liberia. Meaning, we want to support the reactivation of the court. It is not closed. The Supreme Court, whoever sitting there, it is a person, it is a human, they can err, but justice has not been done in our case because the obvious explanation from those that were accused show us that the individual were killed among them, and they have decided to hide the information to show who were the direct killer. And we know the direct killer is among them. Let them be pushed to the wall so that the truth can be told. As we Liberians always yearn for democracy and justice, let us forward the case. There are many of them. We can't online. It may not be Shadow's case only. You remember a lady was killed in her ELWA in her own building, chopped into pieces, and the government of Liberia, on the regime of George Manuel Weah, did not bring the killers or those that were connected to it, did not bring them to justice. A second young lady was killed. Residents in Monrovia know that that lady came from across the bridge. She went for a visit to the ELW area, and that's the only time she died there, and they tried to claim that she was suffering from tuberculosis or whatever, but we want justice in it. So please, as the campaign will go on for Shadow Mosul Scott, we are urging you to join us. We want to say again to our legislators to please investigate all the packages coming to Liberia that will be ratified before anything is conducted in Liberia. We want to know because it is us and our future that will pay those debts. So we want to know whether it's a grant-free one or it is a loan that we're going to pay, how long it's going to take us to pay at those areas. mentioned by our president. Those are national programs that are being ratified by the legislature to be undertaken by the executive, or it's just a proposal. So with this, I want to say thank you, and we will be back next week, Tuesday.
Once again, thank you very much wherever you join us from. Wants to say to our listeners, those who also contributed with comments and also be viewing us, we said thank you very much for joining us tonight, wherever you join us from. We want to recap. We're looking at the major news for today. We're looking at the major visit by the president and the 50-person entourage to China, Asia, and the package abroad. We'll also look at some issues in Gloria Mususcat case. We're also looking at the restrictive orders are provisions in the Liberian Constitution against the dual citizenship and other major news that made headlines in Liberia. Once again, a big thank you. Don't forget to join us to next Tuesday. We'll be also doing a review of the national newspapers as well. And next Friday, we'll be having Dr. Emmanuel La, a Liberian trained and experienced doctor who will be here to explain to us his side of how do we make correction in the Liberian healthcare delivery system. How do we make Liberia a better place to take healthcare instead of go traveling to other countries for healthcare? He'll be giving a suggestion, or maybe also have a brother also based in Switzerland who has a healthcare team in Liberia, a voluntary healthcare team in Liberia called MUXA, Make Our Children Safe Again team. The chair, I think the director will be here with us on Friday as well to tell us the work they're doing in Liberia. We want to say a big thank you to all who joined us, where you joined us from. Have a lovely weekend. And this way, we want to leave you with a Liberian song and say, have a lovely weekend, and we'll catch you on Tuesday. This time, my name has been Jamal Kamara, Paul Chilopole, Lord Chilopole London, and also our brother Apple Moore from Chicago, USA.
I go to my uncle place. He telling me, you know, he say, oh. I go to my auntie place. He telling me, you know, he say, oh. That who I will complain to, but my uncle ain't complaining. That who I will complain to, but my uncle ain't complaining. Liberian people probably can't finish. Every day they probably try increasing. We take pay, can go in kitchen. Oh Lord, Liberian people probably can't finish. Every day they probably try increasing. We take pay, can go in kitchen. Oh Lord, my sweet girl. You better manage what I get you for the week, yeah. The other country where I eat for the rich person, yeah. 10 months and I waka. They can't pay me for my waka. The whole country now scatter. Everybody on yama. Beg for rest, higher. Children school